Welcome to the relaunch of the KB Money Show. It's your boy KB, and funny enough, KB. So we decided to bring it back. Two brothers coming together, navigating money, learning lessons, sharing the wins, sharing the losses, and we thought that it was important to do that in an authentic way. And so it's a journey. We don't know everything, but we're definitely going to bring you along the journey, and we're going to approach finances from a practical standpoint. Some of our learnings, we're going to talk through articles, all the things. Let's get into it. Episode number 8. You know how we typically start the show. What's
Do
been
it.
up? It's been a while. It's been a while since you've been on, since we've been together on camera. What's new your way? And it's Christmas time. It's December the 7th. So what's
Yeah.
up in your world?
Holiday season for sure. As you mentioned, you're KB. I'm KB. I'm Keon. I'm happy to be here recording. Happy talking to you all, whoever's listening. In terms of what's new for me, what's been going on with me, it seems like forever, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like it's been like that long since we recorded. But man, it just feels like we need it. It seems like there's been so much that's happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So many
yeah.
new updates. Just but personally for me though, I moved to a new city and I moved to a new city. I moved to a new position. I'm pretty sure because I don't think I
No,
think
we did. We did. We was talking about it. You were
did we?
you were still in Philly at the
Yeah.
time, and so
I didn't have the role. Yeah, actually, I think maybe we did one when I was in Africa. That was we did an
yeah,
episode. Am I mistaken?
I think the last thing we talked about, you were in Mauritius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so came back from Africa. I didn't stay. So I don't know. Surprisingly, I decided to come back despite the food, despite the convincing. Man, it was quite the experience. And I really encourage people to get out the country. Maybe you got to go to Africa, but go somewhere, go somewhere. But and come back and bring that experience with you and have it motivating you to want to go back out and keep enjoying more experiences. But came back and I'm in a new position. I'm looking to continue learning and growing, and I'm excited for what this journey is going to be. I'm looking to end the year with a bang and start the year with an even bigger one.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I'm excited, man. It's Christmas time, but maybe I'll talk about the week and then maybe talk about what I'm looking forward to in 2025. So over this last week, we did two things, which was pretty cool. Wifey wanted to go see Usher so we went to Usher on Saturday. He
There we
did his
go.
thing. Man, he put on a show. He put on a show. It's when you're in the audience, for me, anytime I go to things like that, I think of it from the perspective of like this one person is providing value to everyone in the room. And value doesn't necessarily have to mean like you help the person make money. That's one form, or you just brought entertainment and feel goods to a person. That's value too, where entertainment, where maybe you had a long week and you just want to go do something fun, and a person will pay you for that in exchange. And so just seeing everyone came to go see one person and just seeing their body of work that they had, like all the different hits, you like, man, you've been doing this for a long time. I think he said
Sure.
25. I think he said 25 year or 30 year. I can't remember which one. I'm like,
No,
he been in the game a long time,
not a rookie.
not a rookie. And dancing with the skates. Like, okay, all right, so you're skating,
Yeah,
singing,
yeah.
like just the level of mastery,
Harmonizing,
prepar
like
and preparation.
breathing.
I was like, it was incredible. And then he surprised us. We had no clue. He brought out Carl Thomas because he was
Wow.
he was supposed to be the only one. Like no one like it's
I hit
not
y'all
like
with a surprise. Nice.
Carl Thomas came out, did a couple hits. Nelly came out,
Wow.
Jermaine Dupri,
Oh, snap.
and
Wow.
Scarface.
Dang. I mean, who else?
Man,
Everybody.
it was crazy. It was
Wow.
incredible. The DJ was off the chain. The hype was up before he came out. So just man, so that was a awesome experience. I've seen Usher before, but wifey hadn't seen him, and so I was glad we went. Glad she pushed for it because she wanted to go, and I'm glad we was able to do that. And how it relates to money, we've set ourselves up to where we can have some fun and not be a burden for us, and we can truly be there in the moment, enjoy it, and not going home with debt on a credit card or whatever. And if we did use the credit
Mhm.
card, naturally we paying it off every month if we ended up using that as a vehicle to take care of it. Second, we went to see Justin Timberlake. We went to see him on Wednesday night. My wife, she loves Justin Timberlake, and so we did that. He was cool too. It was different, but it was. But the crowd
Mhm.
was a lot more diverse. I really,
Right.
I really enjoyed the DJ because the
Mhm.
DJ, he was a beast. He and so just to give you an idea of the people that were there, it was you seen it was like Gen Z all the way to baby boomers and everything
Oh,
in
wow.
between. And the way the DJ mixed it up and mixed the different genres of music,
Mhm.
he had everybody rocking.
Wow.
So like he was going from he was going from he was going from hip hop to R&B to pop to
Wasn't he in NSYNC or something? Like, am I wrong? Like, wasn't he in the band?
he was in the band. Don't kill me. I believe it was in sync. I
I know
believe
it's
it was in
popular
sync.
though. I just know like they love it. It's up there.
Yeah, it
So
was it was in sync. Don't crucify me if it wasn't. Put in the comments if I'm wrong on that. But yeah,
it's
so
in it's one of them.
yeah, but I think it was in sync. We can look it up, but it was in sync. And so he would and then he would go to Journey, like Journey, which if you're a little bit older, Journey. So it's like he was just going across the different genres, the DJ, and so he did his thing, and and so some of them hype songs, uh, you got $1 million, and put your hands up. You got them hype songs, like they get
Yeah,
you hype,
that's
and
not
so
okay.
it don't matter
Okay.
who you are, what you look like,
Yeah.
what age, like you're gonna get crunk, like it's
He
hype.
got some songs with Jay. He got some songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So so they did a thing. Now that was the DJ, and then of course Justin came out, and then you realize you like, oh yeah, he did sing that. I was like, oh yeah, and so
And
he has a great catalog as well, and he was dancing and doing his thing too. So it was cool. It was cool to see that, and again inspiring, man. Like you know one man, but you also saw the team behind him though, like the dancers, the DJ. That's like his DJ, like like that goes around with him, like the DJ, the singers, and just all of the preparation and the coordination and the storytelling at the concert as well, and the selection of songs strategically, and you could just tell there was a lot that went into it. So it's one person, but it's like a whole army of a team behind him to make this whole thing run. And just seeing how many people was able to one the we as the audience was able to be entertained and have a good time and feel like we got our money's worth, but then also seeing other people make money for ensuring people had a good time. It was just really great to see.
that's everybody from his personal assistant to
Yeah,
security to everybody. Everybody
yeah,
making money because of this. And so, like to piggyback off of that, like I was thinking, it's like, do you remember? This is a great point. And so when people are like, man, like when people try get to comparing, like one thing, first of all, comparison is a thief of joy. I really believe that. Like it can be a thief of joy. I'll put it like that. And so you get to comparing what certain people make. Oh, an entertainer shouldn't make that. Athletes shouldn't make that. Okay, what should matter and what should matter, it doesn't matter. What matters is what it is. And so, like you just mentioned, you talked about all the people that Justin Bieber or Usher brings in, they're the people that perform at the halftime for the Super Bowl. Now, how
Right.
many people, how much? So what got me thinking about this stuff was ET. I was watching the video of his recently. He said that he's always saying, "Don't chase money, don't chase money." And like I'm glad that he keeps saying that because people like me need to keep hearing that because like it's easy to keep getting caught up in that. And so his long story short, he was just saying people not getting paid money just because of the purpose of getting paid money. There's some value that they're getting paid for. Focus on the value because if you focus on the money, you're skipping over that value, and that's what you're touching on. These people bring a lot of value. That these rooms are being filled for a reason. People are touched by these songs, and so it's if you chase money, I don't know what can happen. Maybe you get it, maybe not. But if you chase value, something good will come out of it. I feel like.
Yeah. And following up on that, it he they talk during the concerts, and he was saying, I'm paraphrasing, but he was basically Justin, he was basically saying that he was talking to someone and they gave him a big hug and say, I grew up with you, like I grew up to you, like meaning like the nostalgia of I was this age growing up with you, and I was going through that at that time. And hearing your music, it gave me energy. It helped me feel good, or whatever the thing is. Or you was going through that heartache, and you resonated with the song because at that particular time, whatever. Like and so you don't like with songs. It's really that deep. Like it really has an emotional impact, and it's lasting. You cannot hear a song for years and they come on and you still like remember the
Yeah.
song. You're like, dang, what's up with my memory with some of this other stuff? Like, what's going on?
Right. I can't remember how to integrate a derivative to save my life, but that song
Right. Yeah,
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 I
yeah,
feel you. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's
yeah. So yeah, man. So that's what's on. That's what's up with me right now. Before we get into the topics, what's up with what are you looking? Maybe this could be our first segment. Impromptu, wasn't planning. What are you looking forward to in 2025?
man, that's a good question. So to piggyback off kind of what we were talking about earlier, man, I kind of found myself falling down a trap of chasing money, which it's not about it being a good or a bad thing, but it's like I said, it's the wrong area to look for. You're going to the answer when you should be looking for the problem and how to solve that. That's the answer. And so for me, I'm looking at instead of chasing money, I'm looking at chasing what I'm passionate about. And for me,
Mm,
I think that's technology. I really enjoy technology. And I've been keeping up with it since I could remember. I remember growing up, our dad would encourage me, like, Keon, figure out how to take apart these computers and rebuild them. And I was like, I never got to that point to be that ill with it but I started keeping up with technology because we just grew up in a tech centric house. I'll put it like that. And then beyond technology, something I'm very big on too is just positivity. Not just positivity,
mm,
but just improving yourself. Like just every day waking up, figuring out how can I make the best out of this day and how can I improve and not waste it. That's what I'm big on. How can I be a better person each day? So that's what I'm gonna focus on in 2025. Not just thinking about it, but I'm focusing on how to have more conversations about those two things,
mm.
technology and how to improve yourself every day. And that's the big thing for me, getting out of my comfort zone. Because it's good in here, but for me, you rob yourself of a chance to grow from learning what other people have to say, and you're being selfish. You're robbing others from learning what you might have to share. And so that's what I'm looking free. I'm looking forward to 2025. Freeing myself from the shackles of fear, man.
That's deep. Okay. Nah, that's deep right there. Yeah, what I'm looking forward to, and by the way, the reason we're doing this because we talk all the time, and so it's like, hey, let's hit the record button. Myron Goldman always say, just hey, you're already having these conversations, hit the
Yeah,
record button, right? So that's
yeah,
why we're having a conversation live. So it's literally like conversation we would have offline. We just bring it in online because there's probably many of you that resonate, and we want, and if you resonate with what we're talking about and the practicality and the authentic the authenticity. Help me out.
that's
Help,
it.
help me out. Oh yeah, by the way, y'all. We dealing with a scholar here. We dealing with an Ivy League scholar. I'm a C student. So You know, he'll correct me or he'll drop some Jews sometime and uh it's cool, big bro. But what I'm looking forward to is I like where you were going. I like where your mindset is. For me, growth, getting uncomfortable, evaluating blind spots that I have, continuing the momentum of the things that are going well. But that sounds good. What does it look like from an application standpoint of being held accountable, not in an aggressive accountability way, but it's like if that's what you're saying you want to do, what structure system that you have in place to help you do that and in a logical way where you could see a clear path to improving. I got a coach. I got a coach, and it doesn't start in 2025. It starts, the work starts. This work is today and
Yep.
tomorrow and the next day. And so the month of December is a planning month and is going to continue to be a planning month. And I'm already doing pre-work that my coach has me working on. And I'm gonna be honest with you, your boy getting stripped down because it's focus is requiring you to, and I'm gonna bring y'all along on the journey. Like I'm gonna be open. Like is what it's doing is all the momentum, all the great things that you're doing. There's still always something to be improved upon,
Yep.
but the approach is going so deep with the questions, and I'm currently in the process of answering all the different questions because I have to do all this homework before the coaching starts, so we can know where I am factually, not where I'm thinking hypothetical. And so some of it, just give you an example. Some of it is, what is your body fat percentage? That's just on the health. That's just on the health side. What is your body fat percentage? So some of it I'll be able to answer factually, and some of it I'm actually have to go get
Yeah, you gotta
metrics
go
of
find
it.
out.
And so it's not like well, I think I'm kind of nope, just go get it.
Gotta go
How
find
much do
out.
you weigh? So it's making you look at some of the realities of like, what is your bank account? Like what does that look like? How's your finances? What is your debt levels? What is your income like? Like you're getting in your business. How is it with your spouse? Like your wife, like your partner, like how is your relationship? How's your communication? How's your authenticity? How like are y'all able to have direct conversations? What does that look like? It's like, but and so imagine in like all the genres of life, I would say just going through the and answering things is a therapy session in itself and is going way deeper than any therapy session I've been a part of. That's how I know the growth is about, like the growth, your boy, like 2025, like a year from now, us doing this, and then a year from now, it's gonna be some crazy growth. And I'm just excited for whatever that is. I'm not like putting any pressure on what it will look like, but a part of it is what do you see yourself from a year from now? But I know I'll be better than I am today, and so I'm just excited to see what's to come. And then we got some stuff brewing in the background from a business perspective that I'm excited about. Not I ain't gonna talk about that yet, but so it's gonna be some income growth and all the things. Okay, so that's good. That's wrapping it up. What we're looking forward to the 2025. That'll be a segment that we'll release. All right, so let's transition into something that I wanted to do, and you didn't even know that I was going to bring this up is status updates, because this is the KB Money Show. We're gonna be talking about life. We're gonna be talking about all those things and tying it back to the money. But I think that it's really important to be authentic and at least open on some levels. You don't have to tell people all your business, but I don't know about you, when you're watching YouTube or you watching these things, you're like, you're saying all this stuff, but are you really doing that? Like, or are you
Right.
saying one thing and you're doing something else? I don't really care about the calling out anybody, but at least for me, I appreciate people being open and real, relatable. Like, oh, okay, you're not just putting on because you turn the camera on. Like, no, y'all are real. Like, and so I'm gonna put you on the spot because we had these conversations behind the scenes. So I'm gonna put you on the spot, and if you don't
Yeah,
know, it's cool.
we
But
do.
but just know that it's coming in future episodes. So I'll go first though before I put you on the spot. So for me, I am in the process. Me and my wife, we're in the process of becoming 100% debt free. So our thing was being 100% debt free millionaire, which is a whole different thing. People got all their different opinions. I don't care about none of that. We got what we want to do. That's all that
Yeah.
matters to us. So to, just putting it like that. So we have about 65,000 left on our mortgage. And what I'm going to do every episode, I'll tell you, hey, this is where we are. This is where we are, and we're just gonna count it down until you until it's officially paid off. That way, I'm held accountable because I'm saying it on record, and you'll be able to just come along with the journey. And maybe your journey, and my goal is inspiration for you. Maybe you got a credit card that you're trying to pay down, and it's 5 grand, and it might not, it might not be 65. It might be 5 grand. Like, dang, man, this 20% interest kicking my butt, so maybe you can
Right.
tune in to us and you're like, okay, well, let me see what Ken doing. Let me see what the progress Ken getting. So that can be just to being a source of inspiration while I'm being open and you seeing my journey and while we document it. But for you, I want to challenge you to be on a investing journey. We've talked about the emergency fund. You know how to do that. You will get there with that. But I want to challenge you to provide some level of status updates on where you are with your investing journey on to 100K.
Well, for my investing journey, I have my 401k set up with my newest company that I just started with, and so that's going on auto draft, taking it 3%. But in terms of what I have, like lump sum, if I count everything up, I'll say
No, just
somewhere
no, just the investment specifically. Just the investment. Like where are you with the investment and just providing updates to the people to get to that 100K and then of course get to that $1 million net worth.
in terms of my strategy.
No, not the strategy, the number. Like we're like, I'm at 10K now, I'm at 20K, I'm at
Okay, I
30K,
see
and
what you're
just
saying.
walking that thing
Mhm.
out.
Well, I was about to say I'm at like 1K. I'm at 1K. Because right now I'm putting everything in the emergency, like you said. I'm dumping to emergency with slowly
Uh,
putting in with that 401k.
okay. All right.
Um,
So maybe okay. So well, okay. All right. Well, maybe that might be a future thing we do. Let's on the fly, let's flip it.
mhm.
The journey to your emergency fund and getting it fully funded. How about that? I think that's a easier, yeah, that's something a little bit more closer to us. Because
Yeah,
it's your 401k, you got that going, it's working in the background, that's gonna be growing. But it
yeah.
sounds like the more immediate thing is the emergency fund. So updating, all right, this is where I'm at with my emergency fund. This is where I'm at. And just weekly. And sometimes if it's no change, there's no change because we're recording weekly, so it might not be a change, but there probably should be a change bi-weekly if you're getting paid bi-weekly, unless you have some extra income or something that comes up,
Mm,
that come up, that you're making on the side or something, in
right,
addition to the job.
right. So that's perfect. So no, it's just funny because I wrote this down earlier today. I think it kind of ties into this right now. It says, without a destination and a deadline, your vision is just an idea. So I said to say because I've been kind of stuck with this emergency fund in terms of like I don't know where to put my destination now. I keep kind of shifting the number in my head. I need this much. I need that much. So today for the KB Money Show, I'm gonna commit to a number. We're gonna commit to I'm gonna commit to 20K. That's what I'm committing to.
Okay.
Right now, we're at, should I say where we're at now?
It's up to you. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, just being younger, just because sometimes people say, "Oh, it's impossible to do this." So just you've done it before,
I'm
so
gonna just say we on the way. We on the way. You know what I'm saying? We
you can give a
almost
specific
we're
number.
almost there. We about halfway there. I'm like about halfway there. About halfway there. And
Halfway is what, 10, 9? What do you?
halfway to 20. It's about like 10, about halfway to 20.
Okay. And so are you
So
are you basing it on 3 months, 6 months, a year?
um it's a good question. Honestly, I'm basing it off of this number will help me sleep good at night if I just roll over and think about, hey man, what if the house burns over? What if the apartment burns up? The car gets hit by a tree and all my clothes burn up. That's okay. I'll move out and go find an apartment. We'll be good. That's my good sleep number.
Okay. So just for the audience, for the audience, and these are conversations we have offline anyway. It's your bare minimal expenses, not all the eating out, all the things, because if things get lean, you can immediately cut that out. So whatever it takes monthly to run your household lean without all these subscriptions, without all this eating out. So what would you say that number is? And you could go roundabout.
Probably about four grand.
So 4 grand, 4 grand. And so reverse engineering, you said your target is 20. So are you saying 5 months is what makes you feel comfortable?
I think 5 months is a good runway. It's a good way to put it. Five
Okay.
months.
So you see how I reverse it. So and that's how we have to do our goals. We got to like, where am I at? Where am I looking to go? And just bridge the gap and just walk that thing out. And the day to day is putting it in there, putting it in there, putting it in there, putting it in there. And then before you know it, you're like, oh, okay, okay. And stuff will come up along the way. Then you take it off, whatever. And the good part is you're also investing too. Oh, but the other part is you have something working for you. You don't have no debt, or do you?
No, we don't
So
do that. No, we try not to. Yeah, we know how risky it can get and how it can build up. You know what I mean? It's mhm.
yeah. Awesome. Okay. So all right. So that's the game plan. All right. So this was on the spot. He didn't know that was coming. So that's what we commit to. So he's focused on the emergency fund. I'm
Wait,
focused.
wait, wait. Nah. I said you need a destination. We just did the destination. I need a deadline. So I
What's
gotta
the
commit to give myself a deadline. So if it's December, we're going into January. Because I've been thinking about this. Give me till August.
okay?
Because I was originally aiming for. No, matter of fact, give me till. Let me be real. Give me till September. Come September, we're gonna have a because that's gonna give us incentive to keep going with this and give incentive for y'all to keep following us. In September, we throwing a party.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. And so for mine and transparency, we're targeting December. So a year from now. You writing it down?
Yep, I'm writing mine down. I gotta lock it in.
Okay. Yeah, mine is already locked down. I'm just being open on the video. So yeah, so we're gonna have that paid off by December of next year. And you're gonna have your emergency fund by September. So we'll just keep updating and just sharing the progress along the way. What usually ends up happening is because you start getting momentum and traction, it's gonna happen sooner. So you just gotta write it down, make the vision plain, and then you'd be surprised the things that start to happen. Enough for that. Let's transition into. It was one topic I was gonna come up with, but I'm a, I'm gonna make a pivot just because we did this here live. What are some of the things that prevent us from paying down debt and getting our emergency fund fully funded? I'm gonna tell you, it's credit card debt. Nice segue, like I did that. Yeah. Okay. I found this CNBC article. 28% of credit card users are still paying off last year's holiday debt.
From 2023.
Last year, it's 2024. So
Wow.
let that breathe. Let
And
that sit in, right?
that's more than a quarter.
Right.
Wow.
How to get this season's tab under control. That's the article. It's and I'm not going to do a screen share on that, but it's a CNBC article. But what I am gonna do is we're gonna do a whiteboard moment, because whiteboard moment is still let us we're trying
There
to
we
keep
go.
this lean as possible. We'll probably we got a Patreon and we may do a book club, but because we're doing this organically, we don't have really nothing to sell you really. So we're gonna as we grow and you all want to continue to support, that'll help us upgrade equipment, all the things. So 28%, 28% of CC. Let me not be lazy. Users, that means people, users still in debt from, and they say holidays, so they're probably like lumping in Thanksgiving too, but we from 2023 holiday. That's wild. Let think about that.
Dang.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about what the article is talking about. For some shoppers, and I'm gonna stop sharing for now.
Mhm.
We'll stop sharing that for now. Is it closed?
Nah, I can still see it.
There we go. It's closed.
Perfect.
For some shoppers, the upcoming holiday season may lead to significant credit card debt. Meanwhile, some people are still paying off last year's gift buying. In fact, 28%, we talked about all that. The site polled more than 1,700 adults in September, buying between gifts and booking peak season travel. So you got travel and all those things and the markups on that. But this is what I wanted you to hear for us to talk through. The stakes are higher in 2024 with credit card debt already at 1.4 trillion. This year, spending between November 1st and December 31st is expected to increase again to a record total of 979.5 billion to 989 billion.
Is that in the US or is that worldwide?
It's we're going to go with the US
Everybody.
because we're
Man,
talking about Americans and so the article is CNBC. So we're going to go with that. Somehow it's been programmed into the American consumer that essentially says I have to spend a lot of money on people I care about. That's just not true. And shoot, there are some scenarios where people are like, hey, let's exchange gifts. I'm like, hey, y'all can just send us a card. We good. Like
yeah.
that
It's
doesn't
like
have to be
pressure.
an express like you don't have to buy me a gift per se to express love. If you already don't have it, you can give me a call. You can shoot me a call. You can shoot me a text. You can send me a card. I always been like that. Now, I'm not saying you don't have to like if you want to get someone something, that's fine because but basically what ends up happening is it's the obligation. You're feeling obligated to like, dang, I gotta get this person something, I gotta get that person something. And then they're on their end, if you get them something, they might not even have gotten you nothing. Then they hurry and rush out and get you something because they know you got them something. And so it just
Mhm.
turns into this whole
It's too
silly,
much pressure.
silly thing of folks getting gifts, to express love, and that's fine. But my question, I want to open it up to you. I just want to talk about that part, and let's just talk about some practical stuff. We can go more on and on about this article, but let's talk about some practical stuff. From your perspective, when I framed it up and everything I shared with you from the article, and then just my small monologue on it, what are your mind goals? What do you think about? Because again, we're on a journey. We're gonna be with the people. The people gonna be watching us. They know we got our goals. They know we trying to pay off. I'm not trying. We're paying off the mortgage. You're building up your emergency fund, and then all this is happening, and you
Right.
can't like ignore it like it is a thing. So
Mhm.
it's easy to say, "Oh, well, just don't do it." None of us are perfect. So how? What's your perspective?
Man, it's like you said, it's one of them lessons. It's probably one of the most expensive lessons you can learn. And it's one of the lessons you like, man, if you can learn it early, you might be good. Boy, you mess around, you learn too late. It's crazy, but I've been there for sure. I think we've all been there. But I think it kind of relates to the conversation we were talking about earlier, how ET was saying, people are getting paid for providing value, not just for the sake of getting paid, and because that's what we do. And so it made me think further, like, okay, well, there must be some things that money can't buy then. Like I
Mm,
had to think, like, man, why am I chasing money so hard then? Is there something else too? Because I felt like I'm on a one-track mind. Because if you just think about money, you're ignoring everything that money can't even interfere with. It's just paper, currency. It can't
mm,
buy you respect, real, true respect. And so it made me start thinking about what kind of things do I really value, And like I value my partner's respect. I value my colleagues respect, my managers like trust and respect. I imagine I value things like that. You know what I'm saying? The people that's important to me, and anything else is not important. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be important. Like I remember I read this book called Psychology of Money. I highly recommend it. And it just had one line that stood out to me. It said the difference between what you spend in terms of necessities and what you actually want, the difference between your needs and wants, that's just like your ego and pride right there. That's how you can
mm.
measure. And so it's not a bad thing. It's not even about being a good or a bad thing. It's just okay. Now the measuring starting to get out of hand
Okay,
compared to your actual bank account.
so let me ask you this. So when I bought this for my birthday, when I bought that for my birthday, was that my ego? Or I just wanted what I wanted?
I mean, but here's my thing too, though. I look at things like that, like, hey, so be strategic with it. No one's saying have no pride, because if you ain't got no pride in yourself, then what you getting up for and going to work for? If you don't feel like you can, if you don't feel like you're the man a little bit, you gotta have pride to be able to succeed in what you're doing. But that book just and so to relate it back to the question though, in terms of how to not overdo it on the holidays and not end up in 2025, your credit card still hurting in 2024. What helped me is that my partner was I'm very grateful for her. I remember my previous role, I remember I got my first paycheck. Yeah, just graduated happy. And I just remember, long story short, took us out to this fancy seafood restaurant that we had been to before and we loved it. But for some reason, I don't know if you and your partner experienced this, but for some reason, some restaurants we can keep going to. And it's like, yeah, we love the spot. Some restaurants we hit it twice, that second time, that third time, we like, man, we tried to get lucky too many times. This spot we should have hit something else. Like we should have mixed it up. But we hit this spot, spent the check because if you want to pay it, they want to give it to you. Hey, you want this, you want that, and so got all that, and we just talked afterward. We was like, man, we could have went to such and such and enjoyed it. Like, it just didn't feel right. Like we put too much pressure on the dinner. Like this has to be a
Mm.
big celebratory dinner. Like, and it's like we're doing this for the wrong reasons. Why are we celebrating in the first place? It's just because we doing this to secure our future and and continue building what we're trying to build. And so giving money to X name restaurant, that's not building what we're trying to build. That's building what they're trying to build.
Facts.
But you know what I'm saying? And so she was real. That's why I appreciate her. And so when that'll be my advice. Half of making sure that your credit card isn't hurting is just being wise with who you are, first of all, and who you choose to be around. I'll just put it like that.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm gonna be the one to say it, and hey, I'm never above being called out, being wrong. You can't afford it, like just straight out. Like you can't
Yeah.
afford it, and you worried about the wrong thing. It's
Yes.
really we've commercialized Christmas and holidays and all the things, and the most important things is time together, whether it's physical or on the phone. Those are the things you can't put a monetary value on. And I understand if you want to get someone something, but you have to stay within the budget. You
Yeah.
must stay within the budget, whether that means you go lean somewhere else to make space because you know the holidays coming up. Practical. Well, Christmas happens the same time every year. Maybe you create a sinking fund throughout the year and just make some micro deposits into like this account somewhere, whether it's 10, but like consistent $10 somewhere because you know it's coming, you know you're going to do it, then that means you need to plan for it. So if you know, I hear y'all, I hear what you're talking about, but we gonna spend some money.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
thing is the impulsive shopping and lying to yourself in one of my previous videos. I didn't get a lot of views, but that's okay. That's okay. There's a couple people watched it and hopefully it resonated. Is why we opted out of Black Friday. Because
Mm.
people always say, hey, look how much money I save on that day. I get to save. One of the things that changed my life, I will never forget it. I hadn't talked to the gentleman in a very long time. I was saying that same conversation, and this how it was just some wisdom just hit. He just hit me. He said he listened to me. Probably it'll be the same way someone's saying it to me now, because I get it. You save money. Okay, let me ask you a question. How did you save money if money left your bank account?
It's a
You didn't
good question.
save money. You lost money. Saving money is what you're doing for your emergency fund. You specifically. That's
Mm.
saving money. So you think about the psychology that you're getting caught up in, and the marketing worked. It worked. Now, I'm not saying if you want to go get some on that day, but like some of this stuff, if you just stop and like think and like really detach the emotion behind it, you're like, wait. Say I saved money, but I gave you, I, but I gave you money out of my wallet.
Yeah.
Did I save money? The answer is no. They, these companies are masterful at getting you to part ways with money out of your pocket and got you thinking you saved money. It's the craziest thing ever. You're not saving money. The markup is still there. And again, your bank account is lower than it was before you made the purchase. You didn't save no money.
You know what it is? Well, I ain't gonna say it's greed, but I think it might be greed's cousin or something like that. Because it's very similar to, like you said, we were talking offline about this. You called it commission breath. Kind of like when a salesman, it's the same exact energy. When a salesman think they got a sale in the works, it ain't official yet, but they're like, oh, okay, when this hit, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to hit. But you ain't got the money yet. Why are you counting money that you hadn't even made yet? So like the reverse, you counting savings on the dollar you hadn't even spent yet.
Yeah.
They done spent your dollar for you and told you how much you saved. They didn't reach in your bank account. You'll be like, thank you for reaching in, then telling me, thank you for only taking 55 cents off my dollar instead of six. Like, what are we talking about? So, but when it's just like you said, it's a psychology. And so it's so and something that I heard yesterday or the other day, somebody was talking about the police and FBI, but this is true about, I mean, it's true about other things too, but it's you, the consumer, versus these $1 billion. In this case, they're talking about the FBI saying like, hey, they have shifts. When you got to go to sleep, they still okay. Night shift, come in. Let's come strategize against the criminal. Like you can't outthink them. And so, in the same logic with these $1 billion corporations, as smart as me and you are, me you got to go to sleep. And okay, now the branch in Japan is waking up, and we finna go. You know what I'm saying? So not to make it seem like there's no hope, there's nothing we can do, but bow to yourself. Knowledge is power, and just strategize. If you ain't got no strategy, without the direction, it's hard to operate. That's why we're having these conversations, and we hope people are tuning in, and continue tuning in.
Right. And with that, I give you another example, and we'll close on this segment. Credit cards. I don't care who you are. You're fooling yourself. You're trying to. They're gamifying the points, and so they got you talking in points, but you're not even looking at the stats of when you swipe your credit card more than you pay with cash or out of your debit card. There's pain that happens whenever you part ways with and you feel it when you got a
It sure
credit
is.
card. You just swiping, and even if you are disciplined like me, you still spend more money. Again, I don't have credit card debt. I still spend more money, even being responsible with paying it off every single month. Don't let no one trick you into thinking it's otherwise. Like if you put, and here's how you can tell: go to your accounts, print out your statements for the last 6 months from your activity, and you just go line item by. See, we talking about counting the costs. We talking about looking at everything. We talking about what are the facts. I promise you, if you went line item by line item, the majority of people that have a credit card, they'll be like, dang, yeah, I spent wet. Dang, I ain't need that. I ain't need that. I just swiped that on the fly. I just did. But they know this. They know like they got this thing mastered. And so you think you're gonna outsmart? Don't be silly. Like just my point is know the game that you're playing. And if you're like, hey, look, I ain't cutting up my credit card, okay. But understand you're probably going to spend a little bit more money than you normally would if you didn't have one. It doesn't mean that you don't have to have one, but just don't lie to yourself. That's my biggest thing. Don't lie to yourself like, yeah, I got all these points. Yeah, and you spent more. So if you equate the extra money that you pay for the points and you do a comparison, sometimes you might look at it, you like, okay, that was dumb. Or
Right.
you might look and say, okay, compare, okay, I'm good with it. Like whatever. But like, come on, man, we got to stop this. Like, it's crazy.
It's funny. You said line. You said no how the game works. And it's funny. I the other day riding home from work. You know Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons won them championships.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew. I had no clue. He's like a business magnate, man. He's doing his thing. He's he was like it was a Forbes channel video. Like had nothing to do with basketball, but it was a guy talking to him about his companies. And they were talking about how they're racing towards the billion-dollar mark, something like that. I think something like that.
Okay.
And I thought that was pretty cool. But he just had a line. He's like one of them old school guys that got like really good one-liners that like leave like, okay, I need to write that down. So I
Yeah, yeah,
wrote
yeah.
one of them down and I got off the road. I said, he said, if you do not know, he said, I'm paraphrasing. He said, but if you do not know the rules of the game, then you cannot play. I said, I left like, okay, he's not talking about basketball. He said,
Mm-mm.
man, he was talking about whatever he was talking about. And so I was like, wow, wow. So if you don't know the rules, then yeah, I can foul you. I'm gonna keep fouling you. You don't know I'm fouling you.
Right. Quit getting fouled by the big banks.
Flagrant too, my
Flagrant foul. Flagrant two. Get them out of there. Eject. Stop getting flagrant fouled by these credit card companies. But I think this is a good ending point. I think this was a great show. Make sure to if you enjoyed it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next video, we'll catch y'all later. Peace.